What's up guys, today we are checking out the Rollroad Shark Pro. It is a moped style e-bike. It's a sharp looking bike. It has a couple quirks in it that we're going to go over in the video, but overall I think it's an awesome e-bike. This bike has a lot of components that other e-bikes in its price range don't have. Let's go ahead and check those out in the video, and then we're going to take it for a test drive after. I am going left, and everyone knows it. Oh my god, Jesus Christ. Let's jump right in. So guys, today we're checking out the Rollroad Shark Pro. This is a sharp looking bike. Long bench seat, giant cavity in the middle. You got your nice looking headlight up front, very bright. And we could check out the turn signals. Turn that on. And there it is. They don't look like that in real life. They're a lot smoother than that. I think that's just how LEDs look on camera. Got your knobby 20 by 4 inch tires. I already have some dirt on them. Plastic fenders, which do not rattle because they're plastic. So I do like that. Kenda Crusade tires. This is a nice fork. Looks like it's an air fork. You can adjust the compression up here. And there's an adjuster up here for air. It's pretty cool. This bike actually does come with a little bonus phone mount, although it's not big enough for my phone and case because apparently I'm a 5-year-old and I dropped my phones and I broke it during my last video out. So I bought a giant case and it didn't fit in that. But right here, this is a nice place to attach your phone mount. This is my Gub mount. I'll leave the link in the description below. Very good mount. And I just shifted the display over just a little bit to the side so it can fit both items nicely. Got your horn button right here. On off switch for the lights. Turn signal adjusting. That's left and that's right, of course. Controls right there. To turn the bike on, you just hold the M button. And there it is. There it's on. The throttle gives you nothing when it's at level 0. But if you turn it up, you will get a certain amount of throttle. To get into the settings, you just hold down the up and down arrows. And you can cycle through the settings there. I'll leave a link in the description below on what the settings should be in case you're curious. And you do get a USB charging port underneath the display. This bike does come with standard rubberized grips, decent feeling hydraulic disc brakes, and a half twist throttle right down here. This battery is a 20 amp hour 48 volt battery, and here's the smaller chainring. It's on the smaller side. It only helps you pretty much up to 20 miles an hour, and then you're on your own. I do love that they do give you foot pegs, so they have a nice long seat right here, and if you have a passenger, the passenger has some place to put their feet. Very nice. Got a Shimano derailleur and a 7-speed transmission. The motor back here does produce an alleged 110 Newton meters of torque. Pretty good for hill climbing. And here are the hydraulic disc brakes, 160 millimeter rotors, front and rear. And this bike does come with a rear rack. If you use the code in the description below, you get a free rear rack and $100 off. What's going on, guys? We are out here today on the Rollroad Shark Pro, and this is actually my 3rd time out on this bike. I put about 15 miles on it. We're at 14 right now, and Today we're going to be doing top speed hill climbing and a second range test. We're on a fresh charge right now, and we're going to be doing our first major hill climb. This is up a moderate hill. I like this hill because it gives you a real world idea of what kind of hill you're going to be climbing, because not all hills are crazy steep. And so what I'm going to do, and I'll let you know why I have to do this later, it's because of one of the issues of this bike. It's a small issue, but I'll let you guys know later, is I'm actually going to be ghost pedaling for most of this hill climb. I'm going to use the throttle initially for the first 3 to 5 seconds, and then I'm going to be ghost pedaling. So we're just keeping it on gear 1, and we're using that as the throttle. And again, I'll tell you guys why we have to do that later in the video. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, and switching over to pedal assist throttle. Look at the speedometer difference, guys. So this speedometer that the bike comes with is actually slower than what the GPS speed is by, looks like, about 2 miles an hour. So just keep that in mind. All right, so there we go. All right, downhill speed test. Number 1, see how fast we can go. The free spinning wheel gets to almost 40. $35 miles an hour, 36, okay. Pretty awesome. And now we're gonna head over to our very steep hill climb test. And we're not gonna time that one. As usual, I just wanna see what the abilities are of this bike, if it can even do it or not. So this bike, as you saw, does not come with any suspension, and it is what it is. If you're looking for a bike and you want to save some money, obviously they're going to cut certain parts out. One of those could be suspension, and that's just something that you have to sacrifice. So I'm hitting some bumps here and there, and I definitely feel it in the back. The front shock is actually really nice. It has a lot of travel. It's a pretty high quality air shock. All right, so here we go. We're gonna turn right going up this hill. It's gonna be throttle only. And remember, we are using ghost pedaling as a throttle. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, not bad. 8 miles an hour. Yeah, the throttle doesn't give you any more power than pedal assist. 7 miles an hour. All right, not bad. We're making it. It's a very steep hill. And by the way, guys, I'm 200 pounds, 5'10", so normal weight. I'm not a huge guy, but I'm also not a midget. Excuse me, I mean a little person. Gotta be politically correct. Sorry, I grew up in the 90s. All right, not too bad. And as far as pedaling goes, you will ghost pedal after 20 miles an hour. The front chainring is pretty small. A lot of these moped style bikes, they're not really made for pedaling, especially because it's a bench seat. You can't adjust the seat. It's a wide seat in the front also, so they're not really made for pedaling. And so they don't give you much in terms of a front chainring. So expect to use this bike up to 20 miles an hour with pedaling or throttle only. Now, let's get to the part that is actually an easy fix for the company. If they fix this, this will be a pretty good bike. But there's one small issue that is slightly annoying, and that is the cruise control. You cannot turn the cruise control off. And here's why that's an issue. The cruise control turns on while you hold the throttle for about, I don't know, 5 to 7, maybe 8 seconds, something like that. I think it's like 7 or 8 seconds, all right? It'll turn on. And what it does is it locks you at the specific speed that you were on when the cruise control was activated. So for example, let's say you're climbing up a hill and you're accelerating and you happen to be at 12 miles an hour and you're trying to go faster up this hill, right? You're seeing how the bike accelerates. It'll stop you at 12 miles an hour. You could be midway up the hill and you're accelerating, and then all of a sudden you stop accelerating and you stay at 12 miles an hour. You could be trying to pick up speed, going top speed. Let's say you want to keep up with some traffic. You could be accelerating, and if the bike is at, let's say, 20 miles an hour, it stops accelerating. It'll lock you in at that speed and keep the cruise control going at that speed. And that's a problem, because what if you don't want that? There's a couple ways to get around this. I think the easiest way is just to ghost pedal. Keep this bike on gear 1 or gear 7, whatever you want, and just ghost pedal. And I guess the plus of that is that if you ever do come across a cop, they clearly will see that you are using your pedals, and they'll be like, okay, this isn't just an e-motorcycle masquerading as an e-bike, right? There's pedals there. And so you'll get less attention from law enforcement. The second way is you just, let's say you're holding down the throttle, you just let go of the throttle for a second and then turn it back on, and it'll reset. I think those are the two best ways, right? So let's say I'm throttling right now, okay? And this is the top speed of the bike anyways, about 30 miles an hour. We're going downhill. So cruise control's on. If I want to turn it off quickly, there you go. I just flick the throttle just a tiny bit, turn it back on, and it's off. The third way, which isn't ideal, is just tapping the brakes. You slow down a tiny bit, but that's another way to turn off the cruise control. So here we go. I'm holding down the throttle. We're slowing down up this hill, and now we're locked in at 19 miles an hour. All right, we're locked in. If I want to turn it off quickly, there you go. I just flick the throttle, and now we're accelerating again. So it causes issues like that, and trust me, I looked everywhere in the settings. I checked everything. There is no way to turn off the cruise control. I even asked the company itself, and they told me there's no way yet to turn off the cruise control in this particular model. I think in the Shark 2.0, there is a way, but not in this one. There is no way. So it is what it is. If you are okay with that, by all means, take this bike. It's a great little bike, decently fast. It goes 30 miles an hour. I did test the top speed earlier, but we're actually headed over to the top speed test site right now again. So there you go. Cruise control is on, 29 miles an hour. I do like that you can see some more information on this display than other bikes. You can see obviously your mileage, the distance you went in this ride. You can see your voltage, which is great. Not a lot of bikes show you voltage, and that is a more accurate readout of what your battery capacity is at versus bars. This seat is decently comfortable. It's a long seat, so you can fit a passenger if you want. And it does have the foot pegs in the back as well, so that is fantastic. So you can ride around with someone else. I do like the colors of the display. Black background with the green lettering. It's a nice looking display. The turn signals are fantastic on this bike. I really love how they are very visible from the back, and obviously they're in the front. Some e-bikes, they have turn signals in the back, but they are barely visible. I wouldn't even bother using them. Nobody's gonna see those turn signals at all. However, these are big and bright, and obviously it has its own front turn signals like a little moped, which is fantastic. Even underneath the rear light, there's a place to mount a little license plate. That's kind of cool. So there it is. We're at cruise control right now because I was holding down the throttle and I happened to be at 26 miles an hour, and now we're locked in. So stuff like that is just kind of annoying, and it was really messing with me at first because I didn't understand why this bike had specific top speeds. It would just stop accelerating, and I didn't get it. But now we know. All right, so we're at our designated top speed site, and this is my second time doing this. I already went 30 miles an hour on this bike, but I want to show you guys. So once again, we're going to start off with throttle only for the first couple seconds, and then we're just going to go into ghost pedaling. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, ghost pedaling. Top speed, baby. Let's do this. We're gonna go down this road and then back the same road. 29, 30, 31. I'm dipping down a little bit, nothing too crazy. 31, 32, all right. Pretty good, 32. Very nice. Again, guys, I'm just ghost pedaling. All right, so down one way is 32. That's actually faster than what I got yesterday. I think I went down that stretch at about 30 to 31. All right, guys, we're gonna head on back. Let's get our turn signal on. We're going left. I wish there was a way that I could see if the turn signals were on or off, because right now it's during the day, I can't see them. There's no rear indicator on the front turn signals that they're on or off, so I can't tell. So sometimes you'll be like one of those people that just has the turn signal on and you don't even know. All right, here we go. Horn. Let's do this. All right, we're ghost pedaling. Top speed, guys. A little bit of a stronger headwind on this side. I think that's why we went a little bit faster going down the road. If you see this, going 26, there might be a slight incline as well. This is why we go both ways, guys. See how we're going 28 now, not 32? So guess what? We take the average and we're still at about 30 miles an hour. This is a 30 mile an hour e-bike, so that's good. Another way you could fix this bike, although it's not ideal, is just to put a big, huge front chainring. Yeah, I feel how, see how there's no rear suspension? There's no rear suspension, so it's definitely a little bit bumpy doing this. But the front suspension, like I said, is fantastic. It is really good. There's a lot of travel. Let's wait for these cars to pass. It's so busy today. It's a Saturday. So cruise control. See, we're holding it. We're accelerating. That's it. It turns on. And then to keep going, I quickly turn it again. And now we keep going. Minor inconvenience, I guess, but it is what it is. If you're okay with that, fine. There you go. It's on again. And I gotta turn it again to keep accelerating. Right now, if I want to go up this hill with my legs, I can't. I'm restricted to the motor because of the ghost pedaling. No matter how hard I push, how fast I move, I don't add any power, because after 20 miles an hour, your pedals pretty much don't work. Get our turn signals on. Here we go. We're legit now. I am going left, and everyone knows it. I see a lot of people looking at me when I ride these e-bikes, and it's only guys. Guys are looking at them, they're like, whoa, look at that, that looks so cool. It's only guys. This is such a nerd hobby, it's hilarious. All right, here we go. These roads are nice. Nice neighborhood. We're gonna ride around for a little bit. So here we go, it locked me in. See, if I had a bigger front chainring, I could just keep it on pedal assist 5 and zip around. But it just locks you in at 20, because that's where I happen to be for the cruise control. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna ride around a little bit. Let's test the brakes. Brakes work fantastic, and I do have the front shock really set to a soft setting, because I like a lot of travel. And the front shock really does dip down quite a bit when you brake. Here we go, let's do another brake test. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, brakes work great. Even though the rotors are on the smaller side, the 160 millimeter rotors, the brakes still work fine. Whatever brand brake these are, they work great. I do think every single e-bike over 60 pounds should have 180 millimeter hydraulic disc brakes, because these bikes can go pretty fast. And if you're a bigger rider, it's gonna be a lot of weight to stop. What happens when you have smaller disc brakes is that the clamping force required to stop you is greater. And what that does is it creates more heat and it wears out your brake pads faster. So the bigger rotors will help, at least in the front. 180s in the front would be nice. A lot of bikes that I keep, I always just put 203 millimeter rotors. I throw some adapters on and put 203 millimeter rotors. Just because I go fast, I'm somewhat of a speed demon. I can't help it. It's in my DNA. Don't worry, I wear a helmet. Don't you worry. I do like the styling of this bike. It does look pretty nice. And it is on the lighter side. I'm surprised. I was really able to move this thing around, pick it up, no problem. I believe it's an aluminum frame. It's an aluminum alloy frame. Some of these moped style bikes come with steel frames, and that's a lot of weight. And so the aluminum frame definitely makes it lighter, and it's maneuverable. And because it has no rear shocks, it's lighter because of that. Because that is a component that will simply add more weight. And so this is a fairly lightweight e-bike. Look at these Halloween decorations. Oh, no, wait. These aren't Halloween. These are Christmas decorations. Look at that. I wonder what this looks like at night. Probably looks amazing. Acceleration is pretty good on this bike. It's not too jarring. Soft start. And I think that is adjustable in the settings. Let's take a look. Let's see if we can adjust that. So P11 is the sensitivity to pedal assist. We're just going to turn that all the way up. P12 I think is the same. It's either the throttle or the pedal assist. We'll keep the rest of that the same. Oh, now it's even more sensitive. I don't know what I did, but it's a very slow start now. Oh, it's so slow. I don't know what I did there. Maybe I made it even worse. I can't remember what I said it. Whatever. See what the pedal assist is like. Oh, it's very, very soft now. So that is nice that you can adjust how abrupt the acceleration is. Kind of useful if you're not looking to be a speed demon like me. Alright guys, I figured it out. So it's not the throttle, although it does change the throttle sensitivity. So I guess it's linked. The pedal assist sensitivity and the power and the throttle is linked to those two settings. So it's going to be the P11 and the P12 settings. The P12 setting goes from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had it at 5. Let's bring it to 0. Let's see what happens then. P11. So P11 is the sensitivity. It was at 24. Let's bring it all the way down to 1 and see where it's at. Oh yeah, there we go. Alright, so the lower the number, the stronger it is. So you can adjust it. You can make it more torquey or less torquey. I love that. I think that's fantastic. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Get a little bit more torque. I'll take it, baby. Let's do it. So that's the sensitivity. Let's go ahead and check the power. So we set that to 1. P12, we set it to 0. Let's bring it all the way up to 5, because that's the highest it goes, and see if that changes anything. I don't think that changed anything. Or maybe that's more pedal assist. Yeah, it's still giving me plenty of power. Let's bring it back down. Yeah, I think it still giving me... I don't know what that does. Another setting I want to mess around with is the P7 settings, which are the number of magnets that this system thinks it has, that the motor has. So the default setting is 50. What if we crank that all the way up to 100? I don't know what that's going to do. Probably nothing. P8 is when you adjust your top speed. So that's how you just basically unlock the top speed of the bike. So here we go. I don't know if that's going to do anything. That's probably not going to do anything. I think that's a locked feature in the controller. A lot of the settings are locked. Yeah, these bumps. You could tell the front feels fantastic, but the rear is just begging for some suspension. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it needs suspension so badly. Oh my god, I'm jumping out of this seat right now. Holy crap. If this bike had rear shocks, it would be fantastic. And I do think that Rollroad has one with suspension. Their step-through model, which is called the Emma, they really need a shark with suspension as well. All right, let's get out of here. But the front shocks work fantastic. By the way, guys, if you do want to get $100 off this bike and the free rear rack, check out the link in the description below. If you buy the bike using that link, it does help the channel at no extra cost to you, and thank you very much if you do that. Oh my god, I just blew through that stop sign. Someone is gonna yell at me in the comments. Oh my god, please don't yell at me. Here we go. Okay, I'm sorry, we're gonna stop. There we go. We're looking both ways. Oh, see? I had the turn signal on the whole time. I had no idea. Oh my god. All right, we're gonna continue on. See, that guy was looking at me like, what is that? What is that thing? That looks cool, I want one. Every guy out there wants one of these. And these things are sweet. E-bikes are awesome. I wish I could help up this hill. Sorry, little motor, I'm trying. But we're ghost pedaling, I got nothing. Oh, look at that, little Pontiac. That's the same kind of car I have, little Pontiac vibe. I love that car. Little do people know that car is actually a Toyota Matrix under the Pontiac skin. Pontiac and Toyota had a deal back in the day, and so it has all Toyota parts, which makes it very, very reliable, which is one of the reasons why you still see them out to this day. Those are cars from 2003, 2004, and they're still working just fine. I do like the long bench seat that you can kind of scooch forwards or scooch backwards, whatever you fancy. However you like to sit, you can sit closer or further, whatever you want. All right, we're gonna head on back. I'm not 100% familiar with this neighborhood, so we'll throw our GPS on. I'm curious what the distance will say of what I rode versus what the odometer says at the end of the ride, because I think it's gonna be different. The wheel size programming is off in this display, and there's no way to change it. It doesn't seem like there's a way to change the wheel size. You can change a bunch of other stuff, but not the wheel size. So we'll see. You might think that you're going a certain distance on your display, but it ends up being something very different. Right now it says we've gone 9.5 miles. Uh-oh, we got a stop sign. Oh, baby. Brake test. Brakes work great. Nice. Yeah, so I think the distance is going to be off as well on the display, because according to the display, we've gone about 8 miles, and according to my GPS, we've gone almost 10. So the display is miscalibrated for the wheel size, and it is what it is. Just something to keep in mind. Although this bike is pretty fast. I like that it can go 30 miles an hour. In my opinion, I think 30 miles an hour should be the bare minimum for the speed of most e-bikes, especially for general use. Nothing to see here, just flying through a parking lot. See, I'm using my legs right now as the throttle. The ghost pedaling is the best way to throttle with this bike. So you don't have to mess around with resetting the cruise control with your hands. Let's see, so we crossed in to 10 miles. Let's see where our voltage is. And by the way, guys, the voltage is going to sack down a little bit. So while I was doing that top speed run, the bar went down all the way to red on the battery bar, but now it's back at 3 bars. It was at 1. So it looks like our voltage right now is at 47.2, just below 48, and we're at 10 and a half miles. So let's keep on going. I think this display also shows you how many amps you're using. If you guys are familiar with watts, it's just amps times volts. And so I guess that shows you kind of how many watch you're using. So this bike peaks at 28 amps. We'll throw up the math on the screen. Oh, I see 29. I'll throw up the math on the screen as to what the peak wattage is of this bike. Oh no, I blew through the stop sign. Oh, I'm gonna get like 10 angry commenters. So that is nice that you do have some settings that you can adjust. You can see the odometer, the trip distance, time. I don't know why you would want to see the time. Your voltage, which is very important. I appreciate that. And how many amps you use. Error codes. But ultimately, I really wish you can adjust turning off the cruise control. If you could do that, this would be a pretty awesome little bike. But alas, you cannot. And of course, I would love to adjust as well. I'd love to also adjust the wheel size settings, but you can't do that either. So it is what it is. Alright guys, so we're finishing up our ride. We're at about 13 miles. I'll show you guys later what the voltage is of the battery once it recovers for a few minutes. Let me know what you think about this bike in the comments below. I think it's pretty good. It's got a couple things that are so easy to fix, and if they did fix, it would be a really good little e-bike. But the cruise control issue and the speedometer being off do kind of bug me. However, for some people, that won't be a big issue. And if you like how this bike looks, and if it's a good price, feel free to check it out in the description below. Again, that link will save you $100, and if you use that link, you'll also get a free rear rack so you can store your stuff. I like that this bike has headlights, turn signals, foot pedals for your passenger. A lot of little features that most e-bikes don't come with. So once again, check it out in the description below. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll let you know what the voltage is and the battery percentage when we get back. That's it for today, guys. Until next time.